Hello, Oilers fans, Canucks fans, and everyone else tuning in. My name is Austin. Welcome to the Game 5 pregame report between the Edmonton Oilers and the Vancouver Canucks. In Game 4 in Edmonton, the Oilers had a 2-goal lead, and they saw it slip away as the Vancouver Canucks continued to push, and they found a way to get themselves back in the game, only for Evan Bouchard to rip the hearts out of Canucks fans with 38 seconds left in the game. And hopefully the Oilers, if they have a lead heading to the third period tonight, hopefully they can learn to close things out a little bit smoother, I would say. The Oilers had a lead in Game 1. They had a 3-goal lead in Game 1 and blew it and lost. And then Game 4, they had a 2-goal lead heading to the third. Again, they blew it, and they found a way to win. It's not a recipe for success, in my opinion. They have to learn how to close things down in regulation. And if you're the Canucks, I mean, what can I say? They are just such a well-coached team. Everyone on that team gives it 120% every single shift. They do have some players that have yet to start really producing in this series. And if you're an Oilers fan, you might be a little bit concerned. Guys like Pettersson, Miller hasn't really produced a whole lot in this series. It's been, even Hughes. I don't think Hughes has a goal yet in this series. He has been involved in the play, and he's one of the main offensive drivers from the blue line for the Vancouver Canucks. But, if you're the Oilers, you're sitting there going, okay, well, at some point, these players are really good. They are going to start producing. So we have to make sure that we are ready for when they do. And then, on the other side, Vancouver Canucks fans might be looking at Connor McDavid and going, well, we've done a pretty good job at holding McDavid at bay. Other than Game 2, where he had 4 points, Connor McDavid hasn't really produced a whole lot. He only has 1 goal in this series. So for Oilers fans, you're sitting there going, you know what? McDavid, he's due, right? He's due to maybe have an offensive breakout game. So this is going to be a very interesting game tonight. The Oilers and Canucks, it is now a best-of-3 series. Whoever wins tonight has the opportunity to eliminate the other at home in Edmonton on Saturday. So this is a huge game for various reasons. Best-of-3 series. Now, friendly reminder, I will be live streaming the game tonight. You will find a link to that at some point during the day. I don't have it ready yet, but I will have that live stream link ready to go at some point this afternoon. And if you like all the playoff content, you like these pregame reports, postgame recaps, and of course the day after discussions, just make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe if you're not yet subscribed, and let's jump into the pregame report. So first of all, we will jump into the projected lineup for the game. The series is tied 2-2, and I don't foresee too many lineup changes from Chris Knoblauch tonight. If there is a change, I would expect it to be on the fourth line. You might see, well, I don't know if Henrique, I have no idea what his health status is right now as of the recording of this video. Nothing has been officially announced if there are changes. So I just left the lineups the way they are and then have, a few extra players sprinkled in just to show where they are on the depth chart. So, line 1, we have Nugent Hopkins with Connor McDavid, Zach Hyman. We'll have Evander Kane with Leon Draisaitl and Dylan Holloway, and I thought that line was actually really good in Game 4, and of course, they were on the ice for the game winner, Evan Bouchard's game winner. Evander Kane started the forecheck. Dylan Holloway pulled his defender, I think it was Zadorov, away from the front of the net. That allowed the open lane for Bouchard to get a shot off to open up, so really smart play from Dylan Holloway there. And then the third line will be Warren Foegele, Ryan McLeod, and Corey Perry. Again, this is another line that I feel is starting to play well. They're really, they're getting opportunities, but they're not getting a whole lot on the net, and they haven't scored yet. I need a goal from Ryan McLeod or Corey Perry. Need some more shots on goal from either of those two. I find there's just not enough going towards the net. Warren Foegele, obviously, he has his speed. He has, a bit of a physical side to him. He goes down low in the corners for the puck. I would like to see Ryan McLeod start to do that as well. You get some bruises. I want to see players put themselves in positions where they're going to get bruised up, but they're contributing to the team winning here. And then the fourth line, Matthias Janmark, Derek Ryan, Connor Brown. I didn't think they had a great game in Game 4. Chris Knoblauch had a lot of positive things to say about them, but obviously he's not going to go out and say, oh, I would have liked more from line 4. That's just not how Chris Knoblauch works. He has a lot of respect for his players, especially with the media. If there is a change, I would expect that fourth line to be switched up a little bit, whether one or two players comes in. I don't see Janmark coming out of the lineup. I could see Ryan come out of the lineup for maybe Gagne or Carrick, but we will see as the day progresses. Once there's an update, I will make sure I update everyone in the comment section. And then on defense, we have Ekholm with Bouchard, and then Nurse with Desharnais, Kulak with Ceci. I really don't think they're going to go back to Nurse, Ceci, or Kulak Desharnais at this point. I thought the Oilers, for the most part, played a really disciplined, structured game. I liked the changes on the defense pairs. I would still prefer Cody Ceci completely out of the lineup. I would like to see Troy Stecher inserted, but I haven't really heard what's going on with Troy Stecher. I don't even know if he's part of the main practice group these days. And for Philip Broberg, there was talk that he might be the seventh defenseman and that, they might go 11-7, which is still a possibility. Chris Knoblauch does have that card if he wants to play it. He has not really used it as head coach of the Oilers, so I don't think he would, but at least Philip Broberg is a body. He is an option if they did want to move Ceci out of the lineup. Now, people might be wondering, okay, well, if Ceci comes out and Stetcher doesn't go in, if you put Broberg in, who's going to play that right side? Well, Brett Kulak, he could play right D. He did play right D in Montreal periodically, I believe. So Kulak could move to the right side if you want Broberg on his strong hand on the left. Either way, these are NHL players. Defense is a position where whether you're playing right or left, you have very similar, goals in mind when you're on the ice, positioning. And the Oilers play zone defense as long as you understand the system. It shouldn't be that hard no matter what side you're on the ice. And then, of course, in net, I do believe Calvin Pickard will get the start. I think it would be a total mistake to go back to Stuart Skinner. You have to ride the hot hand. You have to ride the goaltender that got you a win. And then, like I mentioned in my day after discussion video yesterday, if Calvin Pickard loses this game, you go back to Stuart Skinner for game 6. If Calvin Pickard wins this game, of course, you just keep riding with him. All right. I think Calvin Pickard, he made the saves he needed to make. 2 of the goals were plays where I don't think he had much of a chance on in game 4. So hopefully he can continue to give the Oilers an opportunity to win here. The Oilers have the best expected goals against per 60 in the entire playoffs. So the Oilers defensively are really good at limiting the high danger looks. So we just need the goaltender to make the saves that they're supposed to make. Now, speaking of the numbers, pregame numbers. So we'll start with the Oilers. Their expected goals for percentage at 5-on-5 is now 7th. It's at 50.71%. Their power play ranks first at 46.7%. Their penalty kill ranks second at 87.5%. They score 4 goals per game, which ranks second. They give up 3 goals a game, which ranks 10th. Their team save percentage at even strength is 88.11%. Actually, no, that's in all situations. Sorry. Save percentage in all situations, 88.11%, which is 11th. And then team shooting percentage is 3rd at 12.90%. Looking over on the Canucks side, yes, the Oilers have actually jumped ahead of them in the expected goals for department at 5-on-5. Vancouver is now at 50.18%, which ranks 9th. Their power play ranks 10th at 20%. Penalty kill ranks 6th at 78.1%. They scored 2.7 goals per game, which ranks 9th. They give up 2.6 goals per game, which ranks 8th. Their team save percentage in all situations is 90.44%, which ranks 6th. And their team shooting percentage is still an outrageous 13.3%. Obviously, the Oilers are almost at that 13% as well. But Vancouver, they're not volume shooters. They do manage to score a decent amount of goals, even if you hold them to 20 or 25 shots. So for the Edmonton Oilers, it is about shot suppression, and it is about the quality of the shots that you're giving up on defense. And for Vancouver, I think they're, Rick Tocchet, he called out some of his guys, some by name, some not by name after the game the other night. I expect Vancouver to have a fire lit under their butts heading into the game tonight. The Oilers have to be ready. They have to be ready. Vancouver's going to have a push. They're going to be in front of their crazy home ice fans. Crazy good, by the way. Vancouver's fans have been very loud and very energetic during the postseason. And if Edmonton is not prepared, this game could get ugly very quickly. So Edmonton has to make sure that they can weather the storm, because Vancouver's going to come out that first 10 minutes of the first period. That's going to be very telling to see how both teams are going to play, how teams are going to react off of each other. And if Edmonton wants any success, make sure that you are limiting Vancouver in that first 10 to 15 minutes, maybe even the whole first period. Find a way to survive that, because Rick Tocchet's teams, when he's very careful at how he comes out and will, talk to the media about players and his team in general. And if he starts, saying, Pettersson needs to, we need more, he needs to step up, that sort of thing. And he's saying, there's 5 or 6 passengers on the team right now. That means he's not happy. And I would hate to be in that room with a Rick Tocchet that's not happy at me. If I was one of the passengers that he's talking about, I would be doing everything I can to show that I want to stay in this lineup and I want to win this game. So Edmonton, survive the first 10 or 15 minutes. And for the Canucks, their goal is for sure to get that first goal, or maybe even first 2. They're going to try and rattle Calvin Pickard. And then, of course, the Oilers, they need to find a way to score a bit more on Artur Shilovs, who's been phenomenal for the Canucks in this series. For Edmonton, I think to be successful against Shilovs, shooting up high on him seems to be the way to go, whether it's on blocker or glove side. She loves his the 5-hole and lower body work. He's very difficult to beat down low. I know Nugent Hopkins beat him on that blocker side in game 4, but it seems like shooting high seems to be the way to go. And then, of course, special teams, very important. The Oilers obviously have a huge edge in special teams from the postseason, but Vancouver, obviously, they have a lot of weapons there, and that power play will be breaking out if Edmonton is not careful and not disciplined. And saying that, my player to watch is going to be Connor McDavid. I did mention him a little bit earlier in this video. I did mention that he hasn't had a whole lot of production in the series. He only has 1 goal so far. So he's one of those players where, you can't stop him. You can only hope to contain him. But how long can you contain him before that volcano finally erupts? And for Connor McDavid, I would expect a huge game from him tonight. He is my player to watch. He's due, in my opinion. He is due to produce just a little bit more than what he has, especially in the goal scoring department. He still is just like the regular season. I find he's passing more than he should be. I think he should be a bit more selfish and take a few more shots on net. Now, when it comes to the score prediction, I am in a conundrum here. So a few people figured it out in my last video. When I pick Vancouver to win, Edmonton ends up winning, and when I pick the Edmonton Oilers in the score prediction, Vancouver wins. So there is a bit of there's a bit of superstition playing into this for me right now. Do I pick Vancouver? Now that I've acknowledged the superstition, does it even matter? I want to pick the Oilers. I really do, and this isn't me just looking at the previous results. I want to pick Edmonton, but everything is lined up in the Canucks' favor tonight. They're in front of their home ice crowd. Rick Tocchet called some guys out in the media. He's going to have those guys ready to go. And for the Oilers, can they survive it? Can Calvin Pickard survive the onslaught from the Vancouver Canucks? I want to say yes, but I am truly, truly concerned that Edmonton, in this environment, in this situation, may not be able to pull it out in Vancouver. They might have to go back home and tie the series up at 3 on Saturday. So reluctantly, very reluctantly, I'm going to say 4-3 Canucks in double overtime. I think this game is going to be one of those games that gives me a heart attack. It's going to give every fan a heart attack. It's going to be very close, very tight. It's going to be another 1-goal game. Every single game in the series has been a 1-goal game. That is my score prediction. However, that does not mean I don't want the Oilers to win. That doesn't mean I think the Oilers can't win. Obviously, if things align and Calvin Pickard plays well and the Oilers offense continues to produce, and if they get a couple power play opportunities, the Oilers have a tremendous chance of winning this game. This could go either way, especially a game that goes to double OT. But this is, how this series has played out, how it's progressed, how close they've been, how tight checking these games have been. I think we're due for one of these long games that goes into at least double overtime. And I'm going to say 4-3 Canucks in double OT. What are your game day predictions? Let me know your score prediction down in the comment section below. Let me know your game day thoughts. Do you agree with some of my, talking points today? Please let me know. I love discussing. I love engaging. I love all the comments everyone's been leaving. The support has been amazing. We're on the way to 2,500 subscribers, which is phenomenal. And I just wanted to point something out here before we go. I'm not trying to bring anyone down or end on a sad note. But for those who grew up with TSN, someone like me, every morning I would watch SportsCenter. Darren Detition would do the highlights. It was recently announced from TSN that he passed away, and I just wanted to bring that up. I hope that his family and friends, I hope that, sending peace and love to everyone involved, especially everyone at TSN. Obviously, I'm not a news anchor. I didn't know him, but he was very instrumental and influential in my life growing up. And of course, producing content in front of a camera, hockey related content and, discussions. So for Dutchie, I hope everyone is doing okay. Sending all of my love and support to the TSN family, of course, and obviously his friends and family. And this is one of the reasons why at the end of all my videos, I tell you all to tell someone that you love them. Life can come at you very fast. And so yeah, I'm just going to end on that note. I love all of you. Thank you so much for tuning in. As always, like the video if you liked it today. Subscribe if you really liked it. And always love, peace, positivity. That's what I try and put out on this channel all the time. So tell someone that you love them today. All right. We'll see you soon. I'll see you in the live stream tonight. Hopefully. I can't wait. Let's go Oilers.